Hi everyone, Simon Keeling here. It is Thursday and it's the 6th of December. Thanks again for watching weatherweb.net. Got a very quick one for you. I'm heading out for a quick meeting. I was going to the gym, hence the reason for all this sort of garb. But thanks again for joining me. Wow, it's been a very busy night and looks like it's been a very busy day. Model's going very cold for next week, so let me just run you through what's going on here. I think my forecast of a very cold snap that was in for the period from about the 16th, 17th of December looks like it's coming about 4 or 5 days early. Not bad, but I have to declare, a bit of a bust. I don't like it being that early. 2 days is acceptable. Unfortunately, sort of 5 days isn't. So sorry about that, but it looks like it is coming in a little bit quicker than I originally thought. Here's the chart for today from the ensemble model. You see the outbreaks of rain, strong winds coming into Scotland. During the course of tonight and tomorrow, that clears away to the southeast. Now, as it does so and cold air comes round into the back of the system here, it could be that we find some snow affecting the northern and eastern parts of the country during the latter part of tonight. At the moment, I think most of that is likely to be over high ground. I can't really see it being down at low levels, so I think it's high ground really that's going to be seeing most of that for tomorrow. Into tomorrow, I think East Anglia, the southeast, at risk of seeing some wet snow, could be a dusting in places. Certainly over high ground, I think some outbreaks of snow, and also eastern Scotland too. Elsewhere, it's a breezy day, it's a cold day as well with that northwesterly wind. Then into Saturday, ridge of high pressure builds in, some rain goes through Scotland, but for most of us, after a chilly start, looks like being a fair day with some sunny spells, although breezier with some outbreaks of rain across Scotland. And then heading into Sunday, well, on Sunday we find low pressure off eastern Scotland, the wind's going back into the northwest, some snow for northern Scotland later, but for most of us, I think we should find there'll be some sunny spells. Dry to the south, a front coming through northern England and Northern Ireland, bringing some cloud there. Into Monday, the low pressures in the North Sea, another hit of northerly winds, wintry showers on eastern coasts, but I think many western areas should be staying dry, quite a frost at first as well. Should be mainly dry in the south as well with some sunny spells. And then into Tuesday, we start to see the real change take place. Look, the low gets into northern parts of Germany. What that does is it encourages this easterly wind to come across the country, and it's that's going to be making temperatures fall, potentially during the middle part of next week. You see that low still around, so I think what we've got to look for is the threat of snow affecting the southeast of the country through the middle part of next week, and particularly into the end of next week when the cold air really gets in. The GFS though and the ECMWF all agree on bringing this area of low pressure back northwards by the time we're getting through towards the end of the week. And you'll notice here, if you look at the isobars, let me just get that back up for you. Yeah, if you look at the isobars here, look, and follow them back, you see the source region is back down here in the Mediterranean. So things are starting to not look quite so cold, although there is disagreement as to how this actually develops. And then we find this kind of flow of southerly winds coming back up across the country, turning into the east, so some cooler weather there, but the GFS certainly wants to make it milder by the time we get into the end of next week. Now, I suspect that's probably a little bit optimistic, because when you take a look at the temperature profile, we'll not look at that one, we'll look at this one, the temperature profile from the ECMWF. Just look at this. ECMWF certainly has been the better performing model. This is this peak here is on the 9th. This is Sunday, but then just look what happens. We've got that downward trend in temperatures. This here is the 13th, which is next Thursday, and you see how cold it is there, comparable to now. So it's not desperately cold, but I think the problem is that we could have some snow around that time as well, with that area of low pressure close by to the south. So we need to watch for these temperatures just falling off considerably during next week. So this is how the ECMWF sees it. It sees the ridge today, look, through the country, low pressure coming down southeastwards during the course of tonight. So that's what takes the winter precipitation into the east during tomorrow. And then as we go forward, you'll notice what it does is it builds this ridge at 500 millibars on next Monday. Excuse me. Here's the trough, look, going into Europe. Okay, and there's our area of low pressure going into the North Sea. Now watch what happens here. The trough becomes a cut-off feature across the east of the UK into central parts of Europe, and it kind of then just hangs around. Here's our ridge up to the north, our higher than normal heights up here. So this just can't go anywhere. It's kind of trapped. It's got a jet stream down to the south, it's got a jet up to the north, and it's trapped, and it just can't go anywhere at all. So it feeds in a continuous feed of cold winds across the British Isles. Now, I think the ECMWF probably has got this about right, in that it keeps this cold look right the way through into next weekend. But then here's the area of low pressure that the GFS ensemble was seeing. Look, it's moving north eastwards, okay, and you'll notice how what it does is it clips through the UK. Now, I think the ECMWF probably tries to be a little too clever with this in its resolution, but the idea of a period of snow back end of next week as that low comes in is probably not too far away from the truth, and I think we've got to put really England and Wales on watch for that there could be a period of snow before conditions potentially turn temporarily milder. But then look, this next trough is in the system, and this trough will then move its way eastwards, and I think what we'll find is essentially the same pattern happening again. So as the trough moves eastwards, by the time we get to the 20th, it'll be sort of stuck in here, and by then we'll have a ridge building back out in the Atlantic. We'll have the feed going down into the trough, the low will be here, the high will be here, and that northwesterly and then eventually northerly will be back in. So I think we're going to be seeing the pattern repeating. I don't think this hit of cold is a one-hit wonder, and you know what, it might just well be that it's not as cold next week as the ECMWF predicts, and that actually my forecasts may come nearer, that it's from the sort of 17th, 18th onwards that we see the real bite of winter. We shall see. That's part of the love of weather. But anyway, listen, thanks for watching weatherweb.net. Remember what I said, it's kept free of charge by you coming back, visiting the site, using the charts, telling your friends about us. Follow us at Twitter and at Weather School, and do a search on Facebook for us as well. So once again, thanks for watching, keep the sun shining, and here's to a busy day. See you soon.